77 years in COVID 2020. The reason for these self-training videos is I truly want to leave the world a better place, and I believe that sales is the number one tool that each and every person should have. A lot of people think we're not salespeople, and they think they're not a salesperson. You are, you're just not that good at it. And one of those reasons is your confidence. The way you get confidence is by doing hard things. The way you get better at speaking is by speaking and getting uncomfortable. And my number one fear, like 87, maybe 90% of the world, is public speaking over depth. So we care what people think about us way too much. And one day you realize that nobody really cares. When it comes down to it, nobody really cares. What does that mean? Well, when you go through enough things, you'll find out people will pick themselves over you no matter who they are, because that's what we do as humans, 99% of us. So once you realize that, then you should be able to do door knocking, make phone calls, do videos, whatever it takes to get in front of people that you can serve and help and benefit and make money. So I think my student got on here, met with him yesterday. Go ahead and comment for me, Eric, so I know it's you. I'm going to start with all right, so sales is the number one tool to life success because to make any amount of money, you need sales and marketing. To get your wife, you need sales. You got to sell yourself. You got to provide some kind of value, right? So for your kids to do what you want, you got to be able to sell them. So you're constantly, or you should be constantly improving your sales skills. And if you did this, you're probably on YouTube making content, trying to share with the world and teach them. Because I know for me, I believe the number one purpose in this life is to share the word of God, which means to live the best life possible because we're all created in his image. Therefore, we're all creators. Therefore, we should create, teach, help, and help people become the best versions of themselves. And we can't do that until we become the best versions of ourselves. So controlling your mind is more challenging than leading 1,000 people into battle, or 100,000 people into battle. You saying? Somebody trying to get on still. Somebody wasn't able to get text me. So controlling your mind is extremely powerful because we all tend to seek comfort. And when you seek comfort, comfort is a slow death, meaning you're not growing. You cannot grow and be comfortable at the same time. So right now, I'm currently over leveraged. I've been over leveraged multiple times, and I truly plan on not over leveraging one day. However, I tend to over leverage because the only way I grow is from putting myself under huge amounts of pressure. One day I'll have $100 million in the bank. But who knows? I was telling a friend about this billionaire who had $5,000. And actually, I just met somebody who had over $3,000 from a phone call. I was training this gentleman, Eric, yesterday. And he told me he wanted $5 million in the next 6 months. And he'd be wanting to be the bank for me. So I'm looking for banks right now. And that's really what I'm looking for. Selling's easy. I sold 2,000 homes in 18 years. And I wish I could have just kept selling, to be honest, instead of buying 8 homes in 3 months and training people. But selling became easy, so I went on to the next task and it got more challenging. When I look back, I wish I would have just stayed selling, but that isn't for me because I need growth for my adrenaline, for my adrenal, for my endorphins. That's the word I'm looking for my endorphins. I need growth. Now, some people get it from drugs, from alcohol, from all kinds of things. People don't even call alcohol drugs. I don't do drugs. I'm drinking beer. Crazy. It's a drug. So I get it from working out. I get it from trauma, mind, meditation, and progress. Secret to happiness is progress, so we must progress. So through every difficulty will bring you progress. So I'm sitting down with Eric yesterday, and he's a retired butcher, 25 years. And I love this guy because he's hungry and he wants to work, so he wants to do whatever. So he's doing solar training, he's solar cells, fiber optic cells, and I'm going to teach him real estate. So we're on calls yesterday, and he's taken 3 calls. I step in after they said no and got all 3 of them to get a pre-approved with lenders. And it's because I ask more questions. I'm comfortable. I don't care what they're really saying. I'm trying to find the real reason. But selling is finding people's pressure points and getting them to make action and caring enough, guiding them through the process. Because most people are going to throw objections because they have a fear of not getting it done. It's easier to make excuses like the rates are high. I'm going to wait. I'm going to save money. I'm going to wait till my credit's better. All these damn excuses. See, the truth is, the longer they wait, the longer it takes for them to buy a house. So I'm sitting there with Eric. We get 3 of them, and within an hour, and I'm going to be coaching him when he's supposed to be down there. Apparently, having some issues. He texts me. Hey, watch this later. So the biggest thing is continuously to get on the phones, get your energy right, you're looking, choosing your perspective to really get yourself in the right energy. So I like to serve people. I get energy from helping and serving. I've been taken advantage of many times because of this. However, I've learned many things from that. But I truly get energy from serving and helping. So I am able to work every day if I really want to because I get energy. People think I do cocaine every day and I haven't done any kind of drug for 7 years. My point is, I get high on work, I get high on helping, I get high on teaching. These are things that I've attached, and you can attach your dopamine hit to anything. You truly can attach it. So be careful what you people attach to video games, sports, TV. I wear this LA Dodger hat because I coach my 7-year-old son, and everybody's always talking about baseball in my own somewhat family. Crazy, but it really tells you. You should see these people. How they know the records and the wins and all this crap. It's crazy to me, and they're not making $1 million a year. And so you're making $1 million a year, you should turn off TV because you need to live your own movie. You need to. I love that. If I gave you some examples of my life, you'd be like, "Well, I could make a movie out of it because I've been through some shit. I've grown through some shit, and every single growth period has been lessons that I've learned. So I'm going to tell you right now, secrets to my success. I was coachable. Now, first of all, I was determined. That's the first thing. I was determined to make a lot of money. I was coachable, and I put action in. Those are the 3 things you need: determination, action, and be coachable. And if you're those things, I don't care anything else about you. If you have speech problems, stuttering problems, if you're scared, if you promise, I don't give a crap. If you have determination, coachable, and you put in action, I will teach you to be a winner. I guarantee you that. And this is going to be, you're going to see this with Eric, who's a retired butcher for 25 years and wants more for his family and his life. And I see it in him, and I know I can do something. I'm excited. So I'm going to talk to a little bit about real estate, but you can put this to anything: car sales, solar cells, any kind of sales, selling. If you want to pick up a date, it really all goes together. You have to have confidence. Now, you can fake your confidence, and I recommend faking your confidence. The way you fake it is through compassion, is through energy, caring about the other person more than you care about what you get. Don't worry about your paycheck. This is what most people do wrong. They're so focused on their fear of not getting paid I mean, I went 6 months without selling anything. I've done that multiple times. But the first time I got a real estate, I went 6 months without selling anything. But I learned. But I also put in action. I was making phone calls. Most people just learn and do no action. 97% of real estate agents never sell a house. Why is that? Because they may be determined and they may put in action, but they may not be coachable. But honestly, they probably not determined. They probably didn't put in action. They probably didn't do any three of these. They might do a little bit of them, but true determination, you will never stop. True action, you will do it every single day. And third one was coachability. You must be coachable. You must. It doesn't. You don't have to pay for it. You can go to YouTube. You should get a coach. To be honest, especially somebody that has done, for instance, 2,000 home sales. That's why I do my YouTube channel. I'm looking for people that I can train, teach, and inspire to other people. And YouTube, in my opinion, is the most efficient way to spread the word, to grow, for all the things that I'm looking for. All I do now is raise money, manage people, manage managers, and speak as well as possible, and read and learn and grow. Those are things I spend more time than I do on working. Why is that? Because I actually, I heard, I forget where I got it from, but 1 hour of reading a book on your profession or on your self development is like an 8 hour workday. So I started putting in 3 to 4 hours for 4 years. And then I can do public speaking without any kind of, now, honestly, I still get a little nervous. A little bit of nervousness. Just like when I see that beautiful, beautiful female that I want to talk to. Get that little bit of nervousness. That is the number one thing that I listen to. Whatever makes me nervous, I do. Don't get that feeling very often. But when I do, I have to do it. And what I've realized over months, I'll go some months, seeing a pretty girl, not talking to her, seeing a pretty, and usually maybe dating a couple people. So, but then after a while, I see a pretty girl, I want to talk to her, ooh, I get nervous and I don't. And I'm like, ah, damn it, I got to do it. Damn it. And then I get back into this rhythm. So attacking the hard things is something that most people don't do. So comfort is the death of all dreams. As humans, we search for comfort. Getting a job is comfort. Sales is not comfortable. Now, it can be comfortable because when you hit a certain limit, like making 100, 200 grand a year and you stop, there's your comfort zone. You work 20, 30 hours a week, make $200,000 a year, you should be up 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, why don't people do that? And you could say because they're not greedy, but at the reality of it is, the more money you make, the more you can serve, the more you can give away, the better you become. It's because they don't want to be uncomfortable. They don't want to go for more challenge. I remember I trained who is now a top producing real estate making 200K a year. He's a top 1% agent, so myself, and I trained him, and he never would have sold the house for me. And I know this because he didn't have the drive that I had. So I almost 98% sure he never sold a home. So this is why it's so important to get coach. Now this person told me that he didn't want a team. He didn't want to, he wanted to do his own thing. And this is what I learned. Most people don't know what they don't know because they haven't accessed the level of what you may know when you're training them. So where was I? I just realized I sent him a link and I went on to a normal live, so that's probably why I can't get him in. But most people don't know what they don't know, so don't get frustrated when you're trying to teach somebody. They are subconsciously, a lot of people are programmed, and there's no changing them until they're willing to do the work. So you got to find the people that are willing to do the work. So to reiterate, how to become a top salesperson, you've got to be disciplined, driven. You got to have action and you got to be coachable. If you're driven, you have action, you're going to do it. But discipline, you will learn. You don't have to be disciplined. You will become, I guess you will become disciplined once you have those three things. So you can be disciplined. Discipline is action. So they go together. Discipline and action are the same thing. If you would like to know any more or have any objections that you are handling, like Eric, for instance, is he texted me a few things I'm going to go through them with you right now. One of them was, so when I do a sales call, hi, I'm calling Mark Strong team. And here's the thing, you can turn any cold lead warm with this trick. Are you ready? So if you're a real estate person and you don't want to do cold calling, this is what you do. Hi, I'm calling Mark Strong team. You inquired about a property through Zillow, because we all know those people out there on Zillow. So you've inquired about a property through Zillow. Could have been some years ago. I'm just checking in to see if there's anything I can do to serve you. If you have questions about the market, and if you're looking to buy a home still, if you already bought one, I can teach you leverage. Or if you're looking to be a private lender, I can teach you that. And also, let's say they just already bought a home, awesome. You're thinking about being a private lender or leveraging, and we can do that, I can teach you that. And if they say no, not interested, okay, awesome. So did you ever get solar and a pole for your home? Because we actually are connected to a company that will give you a 25% discount. So if you are interested in the next 30 days, if you speak to somebody, let's say in the next week, we'll give you that 25% discount. You just got to use my name as your reference, and they're going to say yes, no, no. So it's just a matter of speaking quickly, because time is everything. A lot of people say money is everything. Time is everything. I'm gonna give you guys for next Wednesday. If you guys do this video, you get on next Wednesday. I'm going to talk about buying homes without cash, lease sandwiches, notice of defaults, subject to financing, everything that people spend $50,000 to $100,000 to learn. I will put it all in next Wednesday's video. So make sure you guys get on that 8 a.m. sharp, and I will be talking about that as well as sales. But I will teach you how to be creative, be resourceful, and raise money as well. And Eric was there yesterday when I made that phone call with a guy who was going to have $5 million. He had 3,000. But let me go back to the story. I'm in with the story. I was telling a friend about that. I got distracted. I was telling a friend about the $5,000 billionaire had. And he told me, yeah, after 2000, you probably, it's all downhill. It's easy. And I said, actually, he's filing bankruptcy right now because he had 8 properties that are 250 plus doors each. The financing, just like what I dealt with when the rates were 4%, he got stuck with some loans. Nobody would finance him. So the other buildings are paying for those. So you always win in real estate long term. The number one reason that you take it out is not having enough cash. You got to learn to raise money. So if you learn to raise money, over leveraging won't be a problem. So just add skills to your tool belt. Unlike Dave Ramsey, that got hit, filed bankruptcy, and now he teaches everybody. Because it's easier to teach people to pay things off, which is actually the wrong way of doing things. It's the slowest way, and it'll keep you poor. Because if interest rates go up and you're paying off your house, then your equity goes away. So you still are not in control of the money. And I believe we'll also be managing our own money and hiring the right people to take care of it. But if you just hire mutual funds and other things, you're doing it all wrong. So with that being said, I don't see anybody on right now. So give me a thumbs up, guys. Do me a favor. If you've watched it this far, please smash that like button. Please share this with a friend. If you got any value out of this whatsoever, I promise next Wednesday I will teach you $100,000 worth of value. Until next time.